Oh my goodness, my friend. I have a crazy video for you today. Oh my goodness. You can't even imagine what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you this new project called Project Keystone from the Bank for International Settlements. So this is the central banks for all central banks. It's the most powerful institution in the world. And I'm going to show you how this new project Keystone is Ripple. 100% this is Ripple. And this project is all based on the ISO 20022 standard. You really don't want to miss this one, and you really want to watch it till the end, because I'm going to show you how ISO 20022 was created in 2004 at the same time that Ripple was created. A lot of people think that Ripple was created in 2014. No, Ripple was actually created in 2004. So you can't, the same year that ISO 20022 was created. And this is what this project is about. Project Keystone, again, from the Bank for International Settlements. You can't even imagine what I'm going to show you today. Hey, my friend, whether you're a day trader or hodler, I've got a game changer for you. BTCC Exchange, founded in 2011, is the world's longest running crypto platform with zero hacks and licenses in many countries. No KYC or VPN needed, and signing up is fast. For whales or pro traders, it's a dream. Top 5 on CoinMarketCap, unmatched liquidity, low fees, plus 250x leverage. Copy trading lets newbies make $100, $200, even $500 per day, just by copying another trader, and he does the trading for you. Some people copy all the money by Q because he currently has a 93% success rate and he earns a great percentage. But leverage and copy trading is risky, so only use what you can afford to lose, or seriously don't do it at all. I launched this channel to share crucial crypto insights, not to see you make reckless moves and lose your hard-earned money. BTCC has over 300 crypto available, including XRP, QNT, XLM, and HBAR. Use my referral link on the screen, in the description, or in the pinned comment for up to $10,000 USDT rewards, up to 50% off fees, and VIP perks. Never keep all your crypto on exchanges. Use reputable hardware wallets. Links below. Now let's get back to the video. I'm going to explain to you a lot of stuff. It's going to blow you away. Now, before we get started, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and thank you so much for all of the kind comments that you guys have been leaving on my channel. I read them and I really appreciate them a lot. So thank you so much. Let's get into it, guys. Now, the first thing I want to explain to you is why this ISO 20022 is so crucial for the success of Ripple. A lot of people don't realize this. I think 95 to 99% of the Ripple community don't realize that the ISO 20022 is absolutely crucial for the success of Ripple. So it's not just about making payments more efficient, making the messaging more efficient. No, the reason the ISO 20022 was created in 2004 at the same time Ripple was actually created is because it is absolutely crucial for the success of Ripple. The reason it's so crucial because the payments, even if they can settle transactions instantly with the XRP Ledger, and when they go cross-border or cross-currency, the messaging has to be standardized. So I'll explain this, and this is crucial, guys. Again, this is why the ISO 20022 was created in the first place. It's to guarantee Ripple's success. Ripple can settle transactions instantly, right? Within a few seconds, you can go from any currency to any currency. So for example, a bank in the US sends a payment to a bank in Europe. And now when they send the payment, the US dollar is going to be converted to XRP and converted into the euro on the other end within a few seconds. Yeah, that's great. But the reason the ISO 20022 is so crucial is because when the bank receives the payment, when it's settled, the transaction instantly settled and it lands into the bank's account, they need to know who the heck that payment belongs to. They need to know who the sender was, what's their institutional number, what's the branch number, what's the location of the branch that it came from. They need to know everything about that payment. And because otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So right now, without the ISO 20022 standard, what's happening is that every banks around the world have a different messaging format. They have a different messaging format. So for example, a bank in the US sends the payment. On their end, the format, it says the name of the client, first name, last name, the institutional number, the amount of money sent, and let's say the institution number. For the other bank in Europe that's using euros, for example, that bank on the receiving end, their format for the messaging is the bank number first, the bank name, the institutional account, and then the name of the client, and maybe doesn't even have the client's address. So the formatting is not the same for the payment messaging globally. So that's why they can't consolidate everything into one and have that payment settle instantly without all of the banks using the same messaging format. It has to be standardized. Otherwise, again, if Ripple XRP settles the transaction instantly, but the messaging format is not the same for all different banks globally, it's just a mess because the bank doesn't really know exactly who was the sender or what's the institutional number. It's very hard. It's impossible for them to do their KYC and their compliance and all the things involved in money transfers. So this is why this needs to be standardized to guarantee Ripple's success. Because again, the transactions can be settled instantly, but the messaging needs to be clear as well. So I'm going to show you the proof in a minute that ISO 20022 and Ripple were created 2004, both of them the same year. But first, I want to show you this project and how it's identical to Ripple. So Project Keystone right here, data analytics for ISO 20022, September 4. So this is 2 days ago. Project Keystone is a BIS Innovation Hub London Center initiative in cooperation with the Bank of England, which is a Ripple customer, right? They've been a Ripple customer for 6-7 years, that will explore how technology can enhance the analytical use of ISO 20022 data. The increased use of ISO 20022 standards for payment messaging in real-time gross settlement systems means many central banks will adopt the protocol in the coming years. 93% of payment system operators have already either implemented the ISO 20022 or are working to implement in their system. So anyways, it goes on and explains here, Project Keystone in this document here goes in detail about this project. So I asked the AI, Grok 3, I said, right here, please tell me all the similarities that Project Keystone from the BIS has with Ripple, the RippleNet, the XRP Ledger, Ripple's product, and their CBDC platform, because Ripple has a CBDC platform, and or similar to anything else that's related to Ripple technology. So tell me, I told the AI, here's the document, here's this project, and analyze it. Tell me any similarities, any and all similarities it has with anything Ripple. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm telling you, ISO 20022 standard was created to guarantee Ripple's success. This has been planned for years. And if you watch my video, I'm proving this to you in every video. This is coming from the very, very top. Ripple is not your average company. They want you to believe it's just a regular private company that's trying to do cross-border. No, my friend, this is coming from the top. This is an agenda. So right here, the project is initiative launched in 2024 to create a standardized data analytics platform. This is a standardized platform for ISO 20022 payment data. It focuses on unlocking insights from this richer data standard through 2 modules, one for handling data structures and storage, and another for analytical insights. While Keystone itself is narrowly scoped to analytics and does not directly involve ledgers or blockchains, or CBDCs, there are notable overlaps with Ripple's ecosystem. So they're not going to say it in a document, this is using Ledger, distributed ledger, but of course it's using distributed ledger. That's what the ISO 20022 is all about. And guys, before I forget, I just want you to know that Ripple is the only blockchain company that is literally sitting on the steering committee, the standard settings for the ISO 20022 standard. Like Ripple is the only blockchain company sitting on a standard committee, helping to guide the standards and governance for the ISO 20022. Just keep that in mind. And Ripple is the only blockchain company on the cross-border interoperability task force for the Bank for International Settlements. Let me repeat that. The Bank for International Settlements, this bank here that has this project, which is central banks for all central banks, the only blockchain company on the interoperability task force, the cross-border interoperability task force for the BIS, the only blockchain company is Ripple. And I'll show that a bit later. Let's continue here. While Keystone itself is narrowly scoped to analytics and does not directly involve Ledger, which is complete BS, there are notable overlaps with Ripple's ecosystem, including RippleNet, a global payment network, the XRP Ledger, Ripple CBDC, the Interledger Protocol, and related products, primarily through shared standards. So it's saying, like, literally, even though they don't talk about ledgers in that document, literally everything matches with Ripple. So let's go through it. Number one, shared emphasis on ISO 20022 standard for financial messaging. Both Project Keystone and Ripple's technology are built around or compliant with ISO 20022, a global standard for structured financial data. I'm going to go through them real quick. Keystone's core objective is to standardize analytics on ISO 20022 data to derive economic insights, monitor liquidity. Interesting, they're going to monitor liquidity. What is Ripple's product? It's on-demand liquidity. That's their main product. It's all about liquidity provisioning, myself. All about liquidity provision, my friend. And ensure compliance in payment systems like RTGS. So they want to monitor liquidity and ensure compliance in payment systems like RTGS. RippleNet integrates ISO 20022 for messaging, allowing seamless communication between banks, enabling efficient cross-border transactions. XRP acts as a bridge currency in this network, and Ripple's on-demand liquidity product uses it for real-time settlement. The Interledger Protocol was approved for ISO 20022 compliance in 2025. Facilitate interoperability between traditional banking, SWIFT, and Ripple's decentralized system. This approval enhances ILP's role in bridging ledgers, so on and so forth. Number two, focus on enhancing payment systems efficiency and insights. Keystone aims to provide central banks and operators with real-time economic indicators, liquidity monitoring, there's that liquidity again, and compliance tools from ISO 20022 data, reducing complexities in data. Ripple's product, like RippleNet and XRP Ledger, prioritize fast, low-cost cross-border payments with transparency and traceability, often outperforming traditional systems like SWIFT. This aligns with Keystone's goal of deriving actionable insights from payment data to improve system performance. Both contribute to modernizing global payments, Ripple, through blockchain-enabled settlements. Number three, so again, I'm going through the similarities here between Ripple, this project, Keystone. Conceptual alignment in interoperability and ledger connectivity. While Keystone does not directly address ledgers, the broader BIS Unified Ledger concept, programmable platform in integrating CBDCs, tokenized deposits, and assets for seamless transaction, shares typical similarities with Ripple's Interledger Protocol. Now, if you watch my other videos, I proved that the Unified Ledger is the XRP Ledger. I proved that the Unified Ledger, shared ledger, regulated Lightning Network, regulated settlement network, common platform, a common payment platform is what they sometimes call it, and the hub-and-spoke model are 6 different words that the central bankers and commercial banks and fintech companies, these are 6 different words that they're using for the XRP Ledger. So instead of saying XRP Ledger, they're saying Unified Ledger, Shared Ledger. I was actually the first one in the community to prove that these are all the same in the XRP Ledger. And also there's a video of the BIS, the guy at the BIS saying that the Unified Ledger replaces SWIFT. We all know that Ripple is replacing SWIFT, right? I'll try to show that video at the end. But here, again, it's telling you that the Unified Ledger from the BIS is identical to Ripple's philosophical similarities with Ripple's Interledger Protocol and Ripple. So the other thing, ILP enables payments across diverse ledgers and networks via a 2-phase commit process for trustless interoperability without requiring a single global ledger. The BIS Unified Ledger proposes similar integration via APIs and a unified Interledger protocol. They call it the Unified Interledger Protocol now. It's complete BS. There's only one Interledger protocol, and it's Ripple that built it. So they can use all sorts of different names to try to confuse you. There's only one Interledger protocol. This is the one they're referring to, and it's Ripple that built it. So XRP Ledger's decentralized consensus and tokenization for settlement parallel the Unified Ledger's tokenization, of course. So number 4, cross-border payments and reducing trust frictions. BIS research, including on trust bridges in cross-border flows, cites Ripple and XRP as models for a private settlement asset and marketplace, potentially reducing costly bilateral trust relationships between banks and enabling direct tokenized money trades. This mirrors RippleNet's use of XRP for bridging currencies in cross-border transactions, lowering costs and risk. This project, Keystone's analytics, could indirectly support such systems by providing insights into ISO 20022 compliant. Again, because there's so much other stuff I want to show you guys. CBDC and tokenization overlaps. It's telling you that Ripple's CBDC platform allows central banks to issue, manage, and settle digital currencies, interoperable with the ISO compliance. So it's just telling you this Keystone project is literally benefits Ripple like crazy. It's literally identical. There's overlaps, so on and so forth. So now we're going to look at what Smoke posted here. And this is what I've been saying for a long time, guys. And then Smoke brings out the documents and shows exactly what I've been saying. Ripple emerged in 2004, check mark. ISO 2022 launched in 2004, check mark. Do you get it yet? This is what Smoke says. So let's go here. This is document, blockchain technology and remittances, October 2019. It was published. It was www.frontiersin.org. Ripple, formalizing of remittances and correspondent banking. Older than Bitcoin itself, Ripple emerged in 2004 as a mutual credit network like a time bank or a local exchange trading system. The primary use case for Ripple was to provide an infrastructure for scaling up LETs and other alternative currencies. Fugger 2004. So they're admitting here that Ripple was created in 2004. And here you see the Swift ISO 200 migration timeline coming from FXC Intelligence. Right here, it's saying how the ISO 20022 is launched by international organizations for standardization in 2004. The same year Ripple was created. Ripple emerged in 2004. The idea of Ripple emerged in 2004. And then later on, between 2012 and 2013, Ripple morphed into a distributed ledger technology, the XRP Ledger, that combines the mutual credit network with the crypto XRP, and a distributed currency exchange, XRP Ledger Project 2019. But Ripple, again, started in 2004. I'm going to show you different proof. Before I move on, I want to show you different proof that Ripple was created in 2004, because it's very common knowledge that ISO standard started in 2004, the ISO 20022. But it's not common knowledge that Ripple actually started in 2004. People don't realize that Ripple was created the same year. It started the same year as the ISO 20022 standard. And like I said, there's a reason for that, because it's absolutely crucial. Ripple cannot be successful without the ISO 20022. So right here, so this is the document coming from a university, the Metropolia University of Applied Science. They admit here again that Ripple was created in 2004. So Ripple 2019A is an RTGS system that started as a currency generator in 2004, became a consensus valued cryptocurrency in 2011, and grew to become the second largest cryptocurrency in 2012. German bank Fedora adopted the Ripple Protocol International, so on and so forth. And that document came from, it was this document right here, Blockchain and European Union Trade Finance, achieving single market harmonization through payment systems improvement. This is the document that I just read to you, saying that they were admitting that Ripple was created. This is a document right here that was written by Ryan Fugger in 2004, which later became Ripple Pay and Ripple. So this was version 2. I'm trying to find version 1 right here, version 1, but it's not available. You can't find it anymore. This is version 2. Money as IOUs in social trust networks and a proposal for a decentralized currency network protocol. So this is a proposal for a decentralized currency network protocol. You can only have a decentralized currency network if you're using DLT. It's the only way to do it. So right here, version 2 by Ryan Fugger and April 18, 2004. Money as an IOU in social trust networks. Money as IOU. ICANN, an IOU for payment. What goes on and on. I could only get the screenshot here. So this is technically what became Ripple later on. And again, this is published the same year that the ISO 20022 was created, which is so crucial for Ripple's success. Now we're going to look at a post from Smoke Dog. Give this guy a follow. My goodness, if you're not following this guy, you got to follow this guy. And he's going to show proof of exactly what I was saying. So right here, this is what he says, and I'm going to go through the document. Wait till you see this, my friend. Wait till you see this. ISO 20022 was created to expand Ripple services to the global financial system. ISO 20022 was created to help fintechs like Ripple integrate with the traditional financial system. It provides a common global language or messaging standard that allows banks and blockchain-based payment networks like Ripple to communicate seamlessly. Without the standardization, fintech innovations would remain isolated from the broader financial systems. Let me say that again. Without this standardization, fintech innovations would remain isolated from the broader financial system. So let's look at this document here. Listen to what they admit here, my friends. Since fintechs have introduced new modern methods of payment services, And they're referring to Ripple here. They're referring to Ripple. Since fintechs have introduced new modern methods of payment service, the information language used between the traditional infrastructure and the new systems must be synchronized. This is why a new ISO standardization also was formed. ISO 20022, a common global language or messaging standard. So they're telling you, since fintechs like Ripple have introduced new modern methods of payments, cross-border payments, this is why the new ISO standardization was formed. This needed to be done. The information language used between the traditional infrastructure and the new systems must be synchronized. This is why the new ISO standardization also was formed. Messaging format has to be standardized. If the bank receives the payment instantly, they need to know where the heck this payment came from. They need to know the sender. They need to know the exact amount, the banking institution number, the branch number, the location, the address of the client, or whatever. They need to know the sender and the recipient's information needs to be very clear, and it needs to be standardized across the board. A bank can't receive a payment on their end. Their messaging format is the bank number, the bank address, the client's name, and then the account number and the amount of money and the denomination of those dollars, right? Is it euros? Is it yen? What is it? And then another bank, the sender bank, for example, their format's completely different. The first thing they say on their format would be bank number, then the client's name. Like, it has to match, right? Because the transaction is going to be settled in seconds. This transaction is settled in seconds using the XRP Ledger. Like, you need to know where the heck the money came from. Everything needs to be, I hope you understand what I mean. And this is why they created ISO 20022 at the same time Ripple is created. Now, the Project Keystone that I was showing you, this is a project coming from the BIS. Like I said, this is a bank for international settlements. It's central banks for all central banks. Now I'm going to show you what I was saying earlier, that Ripple is the only blockchain company for cross-border payments interoperability task force. So this is the Committee on Payments and Markets Infrastructure. This is BIS. This is 2024. Cross-border payments interoperability and extension. This is the PI task force. And if you go through this, I'll scroll real slow here just so you can see. Look at all the companies. The only blockchain company is Ripple, right here. Ripple, Director of Payment Operations. Ripple. Every other company is not a blockchain company. Now we're going to listen to a video from the BIS. So this is the head technologist for the BIS. And he's going to tell you that the unified ledger that they're proposing, which is the XRP Ledger, replaces SWIFT, right? And I showed this in my other videos. I showed you how the XRP Ledger is the unified ledger that the BIS is always talking about. But let's hear it from his mouth alone. Listen here.
Those kind of applications, the canonical application there would be payment versus delivery, where you pay if and only if the seller of the asset will then deliver the security or whatever the asset might be. These kind of transactions currently are done separately. So there's a messaging network, and you're familiar with SWIFT, probably. But the settlement is done separately through the bookkeeping operations along the chain of financial intermediaries.
We know that Ripple is replacing SWIFT. We know that Ripple is replacing the correspondent banking system. He's talking about correspondent banking here. How when you send a payment, it has to hop through different banks. There's 7% error rate. They don't know where the payment is at. It's just a big mess. That's what he's describing here. And he's talking about how this unified ledger is going to replace SWIFT. This new unified ledger is going to replace the correspondent banking system. I could show you 1,000 videos of Brad Garlinghouse and other people at Ripple saying we're replacing SWIFT. So here we have the head of the BIS technology, for the head for the technology at the BIS, saying that the unified ledger is going to replace SWIFT. And so let's finish saying what he said here.
You're familiar with SWIFT, probably. But the settlement is done separately through the bookkeeping operations along the chain of financial intermediaries. But if we have the unified ledger that have both central bank money and commercial bank deposits all on the same platform, we can have all of those transactions take place instantaneously at the same time.
So transactions instantly at the same time. If we have all of them on the unified ledger, we can have transactions instantly at the same time. If we have the central banks and the commercial banks in this shared ledger, which is the XRP Ledger, my friend. Ripple has a CBDC platform where central banks are launching their CBDC on the CBDC Ripple platform. So this ISO project here, the Keystone ISO 20022 project, where they can analyze liquidity and all the data and they can see everything, this is Ripple. Because the XRP Ledger and the ISO 20022 are one. They are one and the same. You have to merge them together. This is all about Ripple, my friend. All about Ripple. So my friend, this is going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. I love you guys. I'm wishing you a great day, great evening, great night, wherever you are. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. God bless you all.